Hello everyone, this is Echoes here. Just wanted to come in and do a little Speedpaint voiceover for everybody. I wanted to try something new, so sorry for the weirdness of it. This is a no script video. I'm just gonna go with it as is. I wanted to start a challenge for myself a little bit after the beginning of this year. I want to try to draw as many Pokemon as possible, either in order, that was the main goal, was drawing them in order, or depending on the popularity of this video, to see what you guys want to see, do maybe like a little poll on what's the next Pokemon, if you want to randomize or if you wanted to keep it in order just to see how it goes and everything. But hey, to get things started, we are starting off with the Bulbasaur line, just because I wanted to see if I wanted to do one first and then all the other ones later, but like I said, just a new thing I'm trying out right now. So actual fun fact about this, I actually started with the Squirtle line before I started with the Bulbasaur line. I was just so intrigued with Squirtle at the time. I was drawing him at school, at work, everywhere in between, to where I totally forgot that when I wanted to start this challenge, I wanted to start with the Bulbasaur line because they are the first ones to get done. So I had to stop what I was doing with the Squirtle line, save it for later, and now I am started with the Bulbasaur line. So if you saw at the very beginning, Bulbasaur was actually done before I started the sketch for Ivysaur. That was a mistake on my end. I did not start the recording process until I was officially done with the sketch of Bulbasaur. So you get to miss a little bit of that, but other than that, I got everybody sketched out, and then I did the line art phase, and as you can see right here, I am starting with the coloring phase. And with that being said, I actually did one at a time, except for Venusaur. You can kind of see throughout the speed paint that I kind of left his flower alone for the longest time. I just felt good with him as is, and I just kind of wanted to hop back to the Bulbasaur or Ivysaur, just because sometimes I don't feel like coloring that day, or sometimes I just want to get the line art done so then I can see how the shading is supposed to work, what they look like in front of one another, and just seeing a general tone of how they look and feel with one another. This is also the first time I've kind of sat down and actually drawn Pokemon for detail purposes and kind of test myself with their designs and everything like that. That is the main purpose I want to do all these drawings of the Pokemon, is just to branch out on the different designs they have. How Bulbasaur over here, to me, he kind of has the shape of a bulldog, you know, how they're all small and scrunched up and just giant bags of muscle. That's what Bulbasaur kind of reminds me of, and I did enjoy drawing him, but out of all three of them, Ivysaur was actually my favorite of drawing all three. I don't know why he was my favorite. I don't know if he's just a goofy guy. He kind of reminds me of Toothless in a little bit of a way. I don't know if it's just the shape of his head or the stubbiness of his arms and everything like that. But out of all of them, he was my most enjoyable one to draw. And if you notice in the speed paint, I'm also trying something new, which is actually the shading that I am using with them. I don't try this style of shading too often. I do just want to try something new, expand my horizons on how to shade, what it would look like, and just trying to get a feel for all of it. Other than that, I don't really have much else to say about this speed paint. I just thought you guys would enjoy the process, seeing how I do a few things behind the scenes and everything like that. I'm just going to leave you guys to it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the speed paint. And that is the end of my speed paint. If you want this image for yourself, I will be posting it on my social medias after I post this video. Other than these speed paints, I am planning to post some YouTube comment later on in the future. So if you don't mind sticking around, maybe hitting that follow button, it will surely help a lot. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.